My name is Yomi Fabiyi. My full names are Lukman Abayomi Fabiyi. I was born and brought up in Shomolu local government in Lagos State. I attended Adonade Primary School and immediately I went to Igbobi College, and then afterwards I delved into the movie industry, and the rest they say is history. It started some 20 years plus ago, and it started with the icon, the legend, and the veteran himself, late Alhaji King Babatunde Omidino, otherwise known as Baba Suwe. Actually, it began with when I used to work as an entertainer, mascot entertainer. I used to go to parties with the person I was moving with there. So we go to parties, entertain, wear this doll, and then when I do little MCs and I crack jokes around the community in Shomolu. So there was a woman I used to go to where she sells food, and then as a vendor, I never knew I used to entertain people because most times there is no light. So whenever I sit where the woman sells food, people used to come around, and people from afar, they get to hear when I speak up. So it got to a stage, the woman needs to just open up and said, you know what, you are aiding and you are helping my food business, but the fact remains that you need to go and look for these people in this movie industry. I think you have a place. I said, these movie makers, they are aliens. How do I walk up to them? Who do I know? I have no connection. How do I tell them? What will I tell them I want? How do I tell them I want to become a star? They will not accept it because that would be too forward for a human being. So I felt reluctant, and the woman promised to help me, and she gave me money. Said go look for them. And I went in search of Baba Suwe and go there because those are the two people I felt like I like them. I was scared of some other actors, and luckily Baba Suwe gave me the audience. When he noticed the tactics I used and the fact that I kept coming back, I was persistent. That until you spot what I wanted and you give me that audience, I'm not going to stop coming. And then that very day he said, what exactly do you want? I couldn't talk because I was too scared. He said, okay, I know what you wanted. As bold as you are, I know you'll be scared to say it. You want to join us, you want to be following with us. So I say yes. He said, okay, go and tell them at home that I've given you a nod. I said, no, sir. Anything can happen if I should go. You might change your mind before I come back. Let me start following you from now. He said, what if they are looking for you? I said, how long are we going to go for before I return back home? He said, it might take like 3-4 days. I said, sir, that doesn't matter. I said, sir, that doesn't matter. Let them look for me. When I resurface, if they ask me where was I will tell them I got lost so that I can find my own destiny. And he prayed for me as he admitted me into the industry, and the rest they say is true. I gained experience on the job. It's called informal education, but because of my own background, I did a lot of research. I attended short courses, seminars in Nigeria and abroad, and it's still a work in progress. I am still learning because every time I want to know what is in vogue, what is the latest, how can I improve on my craft, but by and large, it's an experience I learned on the field, on the job. My most difficult challenge as a filmmaker, as an entertainer, to be honest with you, is at that early stage, that moment, you will want to probably produce your first movie or star in a movie. To star a movie means that the storyline centers around you, the entire crew, everything, so it's a difficult one because you won't know when that will happen. And for somebody who wasn't born with a silver spoon, who will believe in me? Who will trust me with their scripts and projects? Who will trust me with their money? Who will trust me to say, okay, bring your movie, I'll sell it, and then I'll believe the fans and the viewers out there will accept it? Because when will that time come? That is one of the biggest and the toughest challenge that comes, that comes before a thoroughbred. I'm not talking about those that cut corners. I followed the due process every step all the way. So it looks like it will happen in the next 100 years. But here we are. The reality is there. One of my major sacrifices was in 2005 when I had the opportunity, my first opportunity to travel outside Nigeria to London. I traveled with relatively no fame, no prominence in the industry, and at that time, the first sacrifice, when I got to England, I had to come back and said, I have a place in this industry. If I should stay back, that would be the end of this career and my passion. So I sacrificed that moment. I said, you know what? I don't care how much you spent to buy tickets, how I got the visa. I need to return back to Nigeria. So the sacrifice was to jettison the opportunity, because even there was a company that was ready to employ me in England immediately I landed. I said, no, I have hope in the movie industry in Nigeria. So I sacrificed the opportunity of my first travel to England to migrate. So I returned back to Nigeria, and I returned with just £20. Some people actually said maybe I was deported because it was horrible. I was looking tattered. I was looking unkempt because it was horrible. It was horrible. My first return to Nigeria. One of the challenges the industry is facing, of course, is lack of film education. Secondly, is inadequate government support. There is no way, if truly we have elected political officials that understand the efficacy, the true meaning and the importance of the movie industry, then the kind of budgeting, the kind of support the industry will be enjoying will be far more than this. It's more like the industry is not getting any help, because the very frugal help that the movie industry is getting is nothing to write home about. And it's killing the industry, because the movie industry is the only authentic mirror of the Nigerian society. If you want to see how our human rights cost carries in Nigeria, you see it in the movie industry, in the movies. If you want to see how Lagos State is, Abia State is, how Adamawa State is, you see it through the movie industry. If you want to see how hospitable the Nigerian society is, it is only the movie that can project this image. If you want to see how our hospitals are, how our policing is in this part of the world, it is only the movie industry that can project this image. So why are the governments, why are the Nigerian populace not coming together, synergizing to support and to finance, to back that industry up? They don't care what the movie industry throw out there. They don't care the image that is being projected, because there are just three different types of Nigerians. Those that wants to leave this country, leave Nigeria by every means possible and never come back. and those that wants to exploit everything possible from the country, whether for political or to contracts. They just want to make the country for the betterment of themselves and their family. Only very few people want to stay and sacrifice to get the country better. So it's horrible. See, filmmaking, acting, producing, directing, doing screenplay is what I am passionate about. And the skills, the ability to do all these things, I learned on the field, but I am happy the way they all came through. So I am of the opinion I'm not doing another person's job. So there is no way I want to quit, because I love what I am doing, and I love the movie industry. And to God be the glory, I am doing well for myself and my age in the game. So quitting is not even on the it's not on the table. I'm not even ready to do all that card at all. The movie that brought me to limelight, I cannot say specifically that particular movie, because I started on the right foot. My first movie, Yomi Ajayi, I never played a major role, but because I wrote the story, and it was purely an intellectual contribution to the industry, and I exhibited at the National Art Theatre before it was released on VHS, that's cassette then, and then VCD. So the publicity and everything gave me the kind of start, the kind of foundation I needed as a film producer. So as a producer, I started well. The first movie, I hit the ground running. So, and people started calling me Omiadago. Some people still call me Omiadago till today, because that is the name they want to keep as an alias for me. And then other movies. But when you're talking about your break in, because I'm still waiting for my breakthrough. I just want to keep going there. I want to be in a game. I want to keep practicing. Because immediately you have your breakthrough, you become the rave of a moment, and then after rave of a moment, you're no longer relevant. I don't want to go out of the game. So I can practically say that my breaking moment was via the movie on Abayo and Metomi. I don't know which one, but those two, they go in tandem, and they actually gave me that kind of leverage I needed as a filmmaker in Nollywood. I act in both. I have personally produced an English movie titled For the Moses, which stars Eniedo, Spondeliot, and the rest of others. And then I think I've acted in one of them. I acted in Blueprint, produced by Yabo Ojo, an English movie with other English actors. And I've acted in a couple of others. I don't know the titles. But I am major into Yoruba movies, and that is the beauty of my career. First and foremost, with all sense of humility and respect to the fans, I have lost count of the movies that I have acted in. I have lost count of the movies that I have produced. I said you want to start telling you one by one, and I might omit any without any intention to do that. I've lost count of the movies that I have directed, and to God be the glory, I am still evolving. I'm still a work in progress. There was never a time I was ever happy to be in the industry. I am a player. I'm a major player in the movie industry, and I love the movie industry, Nigerian movie industry. I love Nollywood, and I am part of a family for good. And my record speaks for me. And I'll continue to play my role. I'll continue to churn out good movies. I'll continue to be in good movies. I'll continue to be there for my colleagues. I'll continue to see every colleague as a family, as a bond. And I'll continue to see the fans of the movie industry as part of my family and my blood. So I am a thoroughbred. I am a full-fledged industry person, and I am not apologetic about that. I love the Nigerian movie industry. We are in the social media age, so my advice is that every young person that wants to come into the industry should first and foremost be sure they have a latent and talent for the job, and they should be able to, focus on what they are good at, what they can easily be accepted with. They should know God's purpose for their lives, and then they should be humble, they should be patient, and they should be constructively desperate. If you're desperate, you want to move forward and you want to do the right thing to move forward. But when you are negatively desperate, you will do the opposite things just to be up there, which will never hardly last. And then, like I said, respect is very important in the game, because talent is never enough. So, following the ethics of the job, stay professional, and then, if you are an upcoming, be sure you submit yourself to a mentorship. You must submit yourself to a thorough mentorship that will aid and guide you into the right pathway. Don't up around. It's the first stage of your career is the ladder process. Don't mess around. Don't jump from one ladder to the other. You will hurt yourself, or you will hurt others on the other ladders, or you could eventually not even get onto any ladder again. And then don't ever break the ladder that aids you to the flat platform. It's a complete sign of ingratitude, and it has consequences. Quite honestly, my movies are not restricted to a particular idea. I'm not stereotyped. I've done action movies, I've done tragedy, I've done just poetry, I've done dramas, I've done different genres, different types of concepts. I've been able to shoot them, and I've done a lot. So versatility, it's in various, but I believe in doing added spices, different touches to what I do. So I don't know, it's only the fans that can measure how versatile I am, but I know that I'm not restricting myself to a particular concept only. I diversify. Only God knows the future, but my intention is to naturally advance from this stage I am to become a prominent and constant cinema movie maker, and to also impact into people's lives in the industry. I want a legacy. I want people to. I was given an opportunity. I am a fan of the fact that people need to tap from me as well to achieve their dreams. So my plans for the future is to, I'm giving enough people, the opportunity to actually explore and to actually advance the course of of their desires and dreams and aspirations in life, particularly in the industry. The best thing the industry can do is to find ways to attract, decisive, brother, and genuine legislation that will give the movie industry a professional touch, a professional body. And then, when we're talking about attracting funds, business-oriented people, ideas, and investors, they need to invest in the movie industry in Nigeria. The movie industry is still like a virgin land. It's still land, is an untapped gold mine. The market is there. It's just for us to have proper funding that will, guarantee return of investment from either the distributor or the movie maker or the major players in the movie making. If all these things are guaranteed, then the future of the industry is well protected. The music industry is doing well because every right and income that a music producer and the owner of the music sells, they are all protected by copyright laws and copyright procedures. You cannot copyright the music online. All these platforms that want to stay to make money are paid to actually remit the right income or internally generated revenue that is available to the owner of the music in such a way that you can't deny it. So that is the kind of progress I want for the industry.